So the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra is Samsung's first Ultra-branded foldable, and with a name like that, you would expect it to be the ultimate Samsung smartphone. But once you dig into the specs, things get a little more complicated. Despite costing more and carrying the Ultra badge, there are several features that the S26 Ultra still does better despite being $700 cheaper. In fact, there are 6 major differences between Samsung's two Ultras, and some of them raise a pretty important question: is the Z Fold 8 Ultra really worth of the Ultra name? Let's get into it. What's up guys, Sal here. So let's start with the display. Now before anyone jumps into the comments, no, I'm not talking about the display size. We all know the Z Fold 8 Ultra wins there. That's the entire point of a foldable. You get a phone when it's closed and a small tablet when it's open. No traditional smartphone can compete with that experience. But display technology is about more than just size. One thing many people may not realize is that the Z Fold 8 Ultra is not getting all of the display upgrades Samsung introduced with the S26 Ultra. For starters, it misses out on the new privacy display technology, which Samsung heavily promoted during the S26 Ultra launch. The idea is pretty simple. It reduces viewing angles so people sitting beside you can't easily see what's on your screen. Unfortunately, that feature isn't making its way to the Fold 8 Ultra. The Fold also sticks with Samsung's older M13 display panel, while the S26 Ultra gets the newer M14 panel. Now to be fair, this isn't the kind of thing most people will notice immediately. If I handed both phones to someone without telling them which panel they were using, chances are they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But that's not really the point. When you're paying more money for a device carrying the Ultra branding, you would expect it to get Samsung's newest display technology, not of 2 years ago. The S26 Ultra also benefits from Gorilla Glass armor, which continues to be one of Samsung's most underrated features. Not only does it improve scratch resistance, but the anti-reflective properties make a huge difference outdoors. Obviously, Samsung can't use Gorilla Glass armor on the folding inner display. That's just the reality of current foldable technology. But it's still unclear whether the cover screen will get the same anti-reflective treatment. Some rumors suggest it might, but until we get something concrete, that's still a question mark. Next up is battery, and this is actually one area where Samsung has finally addressed one of the biggest complaints people have had about its foldables. For years, Galaxy Fold users have been stuck with battery capacities that felt small compared to the premium price tag. This year, Samsung finally closes that gap. The Z Fold 8 Ultra now gets a 5000 mAh battery, matching the S26 Ultra. Honestly, this upgrade was long overdue. The camera story is interesting because Samsung has narrowed the gap significantly. In previous years, the Fold camera system felt like a clear step down from the S Ultra lineup. You're paying more money but getting inferior cameras. That changes quite a bit this year. The Z Fold 8 Ultra now gets the same 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera found on the S26 Ultra. That's a meaningful upgrade, and it means 3 cameras now match between the two devices. The main camera matches, the ultra-wide matches, the 3x telephoto matches. However, the S26 Ultra still retains one important advantage, the 5x telephoto camera. So while the Fold camera system is now closer than ever to Ultra territory, but it's still not quite there yet. Then we have durability. The S26 Ultra carries an IP68 rating. The Z Fold 8 Ultra comes in at IP48. At first glance, that sounds like a huge gap, but in reality, both devices offer very similar water resistance. Both phones can survive being submerged in up to 1.5 meters of water for around 30 minutes. The real difference is dust protection. The S26 Ultra is fully protected against dust ingress. The Fold isn't. Instead, the Fold is certified against larger particles measuring 1 millimeters or more. Now, if this were a first-gen foldable, I'd be concerned. Early foldables had legitimate durability questions, but modern foldables have come a long way. Samsung has spent years refining the hinge design, improving internal protection, and making foldables far more reliable than they used to be. For most users, dust resistance isn't going to be a problem at all. Still, if we're comparing two ultra-branded devices, the traditional flagship clearly wins in durability. Charging is another category where Samsung made meaningful improvements this year. The S26 Ultra moves from 45 watts charging to 60 watts. Meanwhile, the Z Fold 8 Ultra finally jumps from 25 watts to 45 watts. And honestly, that 45-watt upgrade might be one of the most important changes Samsung made to the Fold. 25 watts charging simply felt outdated in a device this expensive. Plenty of competing foldables have been offering significantly faster charging speeds for years. The move to 45 watt makes the Fold much more competitive. That said, the S26 Ultra still comes out ahead. Current estimates suggest the S26 Ultra can go from 0 to 100 in about roughly 47 minutes. The Z Fold 8 Ultra takes about an hour. Both are improvements, but if charging speed matters to you, the S26 Ultra remains the faster device. And finally, we get to what might be the biggest difference of all, the S Pen. The S26 Ultra includes an S Pen. Not only that, it includes a dedicated silo built directly into the phone. The Z Fold 8 Ultra, meanwhile, completely drops the S Pen support. Personally, I think that's a mistake. One of the biggest advantages of a foldable is productivity. The larger display naturally lends itself to note-taking, multitasking, document editing, sketching, and creative work. Those are exactly the kind of tasks that benefits from a stylus. Instead of building on that advantage, Samsung has gone in the opposite direction. The company clearly prioritized making the Fold thinner and lighter, which many people will appreciate, but the trade-off is losing one of the most useful productivity features the Fold lineup had. What's particularly interesting is that competitors are moving the other way. Companies like Oppo are embracing stylus support on foldables and treating it as a key feature. Samsung, meanwhile, is removing it entirely. That's a surprising shift from the company that practically built its reputation around the S Pen. So those are the biggest differences between Samsung's two Ultras. And after looking at everything side by side, the S26 Ultra still feels like Samsung's true flagship in many ways. It has the better display technology, it has the better zoom camera, it has better durability, it charges faster, and it includes the S Pen. The Z Fold 8 Ultra absolutely has advantages of its own. The larger display experience is incredible, flex mode remains genuinely useful, being able to use the rear cameras for selfies is still one of the smartest features foldables offer, and of course nothing compares to having a tablet-sized display that folds into your pocket. To Samsung's credit, the Fold 8 Ultra finally gets several upgrades people have been asking for: a larger battery, faster charging, a nearly ultra-level camera system, and an almost invisible crease. All makes this the almost complete Galaxy Fold we've seen so far. But even with those improvements, the Ultra branding still feels a little difficult to justify. Because when you hear the word Ultra, you expect Samsung's absolute best. And right now, there are still quite a few areas where the S26 Ultra continues to lead. Anyway, Samsung is currently offering some pretty solid deals on the S26 Ultra, including an instant $200 discount, an extra $150 off when you use the code PayPal150, plus an additional $100 in Samsung's credit that you can use towards its accessories. If you're interested, you'll find the offer links down below. And if you want to learn more about the Z Fold 8 Ultra, check out these 7 new updates right here, and I'll see you there.